The historical context of the Roman-Carthaginian rivalry serves as a foundational backdrop for understanding the eagle and the elephant, Rome's struggle with Hannibal. This rivalry was rooted in the broader geopolitical and economic contexts of the ancient Mediterranean world. Rome, symbolized by the eagle, and Carthage, represented as the elephant, were two burgeoning powers with conflicting interests, seeking dominance over strategic territories like Sicily and key trade routes across the Mediterranean. The significance of this rivalry lies in its impact on shaping the course of ancient history. The conflict between these two civilizations fueled the Punic Wars, with the Second Punic War being particularly noteworthy due to Hannibal's audacious military maneuvers against Rome. These wars not only defined the expansion and consolidation of Roman influence, but also highlighted the strategic genius and tenacity that would characterize Roman warfare for centuries. One illustrative example of this rivalry is the First Punic War, fought over control of Sicily between 264 and 241 BCE. This war marked Rome's emergence as a naval power, forcing it to innovate and adapt by building a fleet to challenge Carthage's dominance at sea. Another significant example is the Battle of Cannae in 216 BCE during the Second Punic War, where Hannibal achieved a monumental victory over a larger Roman force through superior tactics and military ingenuity, leaving an indelible mark on military strategy. Supporting opinions suggest that the Roman-Carthaginian rivalry was crucial in the transition of Rome from a regional power to a preeminent empire. The competition drove Rome to refine its military capabilities and develop a more sophisticated state apparatus, which were instrumental for its later imperial expansion. Conversely, some alternative viewpoints consider the devastating human and economic costs of the Punic Wars. Critics argue that the prolonged conflict depleted resources, strained political structures, and foreshadowed internal crises within the Roman Republic. Moreover, the destruction of Carthage at the end of the Third Punic War invites debate about Roman motives and the ethical implications of their imperial ambitions. This historical context of rivalry connects directly with the overarching narrative of Rome's struggle with Hannibal, influencing both the immediate conflict and the broader trajectory of Roman imperialism. Understanding this rivalry provides insight into the formative processes that forged the Roman Empire and highlights the enduring legacies of strategy, leadership, and resilience that continue to resonate in modern discussions of military history and statecraft. Hannibal's early successes in the Second Punic War are monumental in understanding the intricate dynamics of Rome's struggle with one of its most formidable adversaries. At the core, Hannibal's triumphs during the initial phases of the war underscore his strategic brilliance and the severe threat he posed to Rome. The Second Punic War, characterized by its epic confrontations between Rome and Carthage, saw Hannibal as a master tactician who consistently outmaneuvered Roman forces. His early victories not only elevated his status, but also exposed vulnerabilities within the Roman military framework. The significance of Hannibal's early triumphs cannot be overstated. These victories, particularly the battles of Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and Cannae, highlighted Rome's underestimation of Carthage's military prowess. The Battle of Cannae, often cited as one of history's greatest tactical feats, saw Hannibal encircle and decimate a much larger Roman army. Such successes provided Hannibal with strategic advantages, instigating fear and weakening Roman alliances. In real-world application, Hannibal's tactical ingenuity at Cannae is studied in military academies worldwide as a quintessential example of double envelopment. His crossing of the Alps with war elephants, albeit with heavy losses, exemplifies logistical innovation and determination, serving as an enduring symbol of overcoming formidable natural barriers in military campaigns. Support for Hannibal's military genius is widespread among historians and military analysts. Many argue that his ability to maintain a multi-year campaign deep in enemy territory without substantial reinforcements from Carthage demonstrates unparalleled leadership and resourcefulness. However, Hannibal's campaign faced significant challenges and controversies. His heavy reliance on a diverse coalition of forces led to logistical and loyalty issues. Additionally, despite numerous victories, Hannibal was unable to capture Rome itself, leading to debates about whether his strategy was ultimately flawed. Some critics point to his failure to secure adequate political and military support from Carthage as a crucial factor in his inability to consolidate his early successes into a decisive victory over Rome. These early successes set the stage for the broader narrative of the Second Punic War. Hannibal's initial victories forced Rome to revise its military strategies, leading to eventual reforms and the rise of Roman generals like Scipio Africanus. This, in turn, highlights the interplay between individual brilliance and systemic resilience within the broader context of Rome's historical trajectory against Carthage. Roman strategic responses and adaptations refer to the multifaceted tactical, military, and political maneuvers that ancient Rome employed to counter the formidable threat posed by Hannibal during the Second Punic War. This concept embodies Rome's ability to learn from setbacks, leveraging its resources, strategic ingenuity, and resilience to ultimately thwart one of its most dangerous adversaries. The significance of Rome's strategic responses lies in how they exemplify the adaptive nature of Roman military and political thought, contributing decisively to Rome's eventual victory over Carthage and its rise as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. One notable example of Roman strategic adaptation was the shift from traditional head-on confrontations to a war of attrition and maneuver. Initially, Rome suffered disastrous defeats at battles like Cannae, where Hannibal's tactical genius shone. However, under Fabius Maximus, the Romans adopted the Fabian strategy, avoiding large-scale engagements and instead harassing Carthaginian forces, wearing them down over time. This strategy demonstrated a clear evolution in Roman military thinking, favoring caution and pragmatism over reckless bravery. Another pivotal adaptation was Rome's focus on cutting off Hannibal's supply lines and allies. Despite their struggles on Italian soil, the Romans coordinated a series of operations abroad, targeting Carthaginian holdings in Iberia and elsewhere to disrupt their support networks. The conquests led by generals such as Scipio Africanus not only deprived Hannibal of reinforcement, but also expanded Roman influence, culminating in the decisive Battle of Zama, where Scipio turned Hannibal's tactics against him. Opinions supporting Rome's strategic adaptability often highlight the empire's unparalleled capacity for absorbing and integrating lessons from both victories and defeats. Such flexibility is seen as instrumental in forging a resilient military culture that prioritized learning and innovation. However, challenges and controversies surround the idea of Rome's strategic infallibility. Critics might argue that these adaptations were more reactive than innovative, forced upon Rome by sheer necessity rather than preemptive insight. This strategic evolution significantly influences other aspects of the main topic by highlighting the adaptive and evolving nature of conflicts during the Punic Wars. The interplay between Hannibal's audacity and Rome's systematic responses underscores a broader narrative about the balance between bold strategy and methodical endurance, illustrating how both force and adaptability play crucial roles in shaping historical outcomes. Through these adaptations, Rome not only preserved its sovereignty, but also laid the groundwork for its future imperial expansion. The role of geography in the Carthaginian campaign is a pivotal element in understanding Rome's struggle with Hannibal during the Second Punic War. Geography in this context refers to the physical landscape, climatic conditions, and strategic locations that played a crucial role in the tactics and outcomes of military engagements. The challenging terrains, from the steep slopes of the Alps to the rolling plains of Italy, shaped the strategies of both the Romans and Carthaginians, influencing the course of the conflict significantly. Geography's significance in this context cannot be overstated. Hannibal's crossing of the Alps is a testament to using geography to one's advantage, albeit with tremendous risk. This move not only surprised the Romans, but also demonstrated Hannibal's boldness and strategic ingenuity. It allowed him to invade Italy from the north, avoiding the well-guarded coastlines and catching the Romans off guard. Similarly, the terrain of Cannae was meticulously chosen by Hannibal to encircle and decimate a larger Roman force, showcasing the tactical use of the landscape to overcome numerical inferiority. Two notable instances highlight geography's role. First, Hannibal's daring passage through the Alps in 218 BC remains one of the most audacious military maneuvers in history. Despite losing a significant portion of his army to the harsh conditions, this move allowed him to bring the war into Italy, altering the dynamic of military engagements to follow. Second, the Battle of Lake Trasimene in 217 BC, where Hannibal used the fog-covered lake and surrounding hills to ambush and defeat a Roman army, underscores the strategic advantage provided by exploiting local geography. Supporters of Hannibal's tactics often cite these geographical strategies as examples of his genius, arguing that his ability to adapt to and leverage the natural features of the land was key to his early successes against Rome. However, this same reliance on geography presented challenges, including difficult supply lines and the hardships faced by his troops, particularly during harsh winters in unfriendly territories. Geography also connects to other aspects of the main topic by influencing the broader strategic decisions of both Rome and Carthage. Rome's eventual adaptation to the geographic challenges posed by Hannibal, including avoiding unfavorable terrains and cutting supply lines, was instrumental in their ultimate victory. Overall, the role of geography in the Carthaginian campaign is a testament to how physical landscapes can shape the outcomes of war, highlighting both opportunities and limitations for military leaders.